Casual racism is a reality in India. The sooner we understand and admit it, the better. That, of course, is one school of thought. Today, we are discussing this because an actor chose to vent his ire or really vent his thoughts on social media posts today, calling out the entertainment world and asking icons, big film stars with fan bases going into the millions and the billions on why they endorse something that has been termed by various people by various names, a hoax product that tells you can make your complexion fair by using chemically induced creams. He's also touched upon how big stars and icons who are being offered these endorsement deals have chosen to walk away. He's named names, he's not minced his words. He did refuse to speak to us. So we'll, of course, in turn discuss the larger issue of casual racism in India. Why is white or fair always better? Is it at an individual level, at a family level, that this is ingrained in our minds as children? If you're not fair, you're going to have a difficult time growing up. Why do matrimonial ads always advertise for fair-looking bride? Why is it that fairness creams are $1 billion business in a country like India? All that will factor into our debate. But first, take a look at this.
B-Town star Abhay Deol has called out Bollywood on fairness cream ads. He has criticized Bollywood stars for promoting fairness cream ads, calling it their irresponsible behavior.
Some people, of course, support what Abhay Deol is saying. Others say that he should not perhaps be targeting people by literally naming and shaming them, because in a series of Facebook posts, he has literally put out advertisements with celebrity name.
The obsession with fairness is nothing new in India. From netas to Bollywood celebs, all have contributed to the racism debate time and again. While it would be too easy to dismiss ex-BJP MP Tarun Vijay's comments against South Indians as casual racism, Bollywood's top stars continue to endorse skin-lightening creams with the nonchalance that comes with raking in an extra buck. But while the hypocrisy stands exposed, will our celebs now lead by example? Bureau Report, NewsX.
Tonight will be on your screens in just a couple of seconds. There you go. Is Abhay Deol holding a stark mirror to the film world and India's own problem of casual racism? That's question number one we're asking tonight. Question number two on your screens right now. Why should film stars, icons, cricketers with fan bases running into millions and billions get away or even endorse a hoax product which promises to change your complexion? Why do they need to do that? Question number three, do these icons have an added responsibility, like I said, precisely for that reason? Millions of people follow them, look up to them. They are role models for many in this country and abroad. Question number four, is casual racism a part of our individual lives at some level or the other as Indians? And last big question we're asking tonight, should the entertainment world in particular, and perhaps India as a whole, admit that even in 2017 India, fair is considered lovely? Dileep Cherian joins me tonight on the debate. He's the founder of Perfect Relations, also an image guru. Priya Malik, she's an actor, joins us from Mumbai. Nisha Jamwal will be joining us. She's a writer and brand consultant. Nilanjana Chakraborty is an activist on the panel. And completing the panel tonight, Rahul Easwar, also an activist, joined us via Skype. Dileep Cherian, our big questions, I believe, hit one of the issues that individually also, at some level, it is ingrained into us as Indians. If you're fair, you'll have an easier life. The fairer you are, the better it'll be. Is that the cause of the problem? Is Abhay Deol just mirroring reality? It's not.
Without a doubt, in my view. I think that it is fairly deeply ingrained in our society. It is part of everyday lexicon. So there, in families, there's talk about this when there's time to look out for a bride, and this is one of the major factors. And even among children, one is fair and the other is lovely. So, the point is that fair is what matters in this country. And our views are not just skin deep. What is really frightening is that in our behavior towards others also, this whole thing translates into the way we behave with them. This is ingrained quite deeply. It is a value which is perhaps also laden in the whole concept that the Aryans came in and conquered the dark races of the Dravidians. So
it goes as far back as that. It's not just the white man's conquest that did this.
It definitely goes well beyond the white man's conquest, and it ought not to be, because in many senses we also are possibly one of the few countries which has a very dark-skinned God to worship. So I think that it isn't just about...
Already Rahul Easwar seems to have a counterpoint, so I'll go straight to Rahul. Go ahead.
Two things. First, Dileep Cherian sir, let me implore and beg. Let us do away with this outdated theories like Aryan invasion. Not even any scientific historian accept those. Even those on the left of spectrum like Romila Thapar is right now saying there is no invasion, there might be migration. So let us not use every other occasion to divide India and paint Indians as having...
Well, it's a valid opinion. It's a valid opinion.
I understand that you are a better historian than many of us, but the fact is this is the conventional wisdom at the moment. Yes, it is incorrect to divide India, but Indians are dividing themselves on the basis of skin color anyway.
As it is, it's not even... Yes.
Just a point, just a humble point.
Yes.
Like Dileep Cherian sir brilliantly articulated, two of the most worshipped gods in India, Sri Ram and Sri Krishna, are both skin color. See, we should not be unrealistic about these kind of things, and we should be fair to the idea of being fair. If people like some kind of a skin complexion, see the West, they want to get themselves stand. So, are we going to say that they are having a reverse racism? So these kind of things should be made into some kind of philosophical debate or a debate about racism.
So let's talk about a factual debate. Rahul, let's talk about the facts then. I can use the Abhay Deol outburst as a pivot really to refer to what he's saying. Hold on, Nisha Jamwal, I'm coming to you right now. Nisha Jamwal, let me ask you this. Abhay Deol calling out what the entertainment world perhaps still believes. It's not just the entertainment world. I mean, we have fairness screens which perpetuate, according to me, a hoax.
I've lost audio.
All right, she can't hear me right now. So, Priya Malik, actor, do you believe Abhay Deol naming out celebrities was okay? Should he have done that before? Do you think he waited too long? Is he just mirroring or holding a mirror to what exists in not just the glamour world, but also across the country, Priya?
I've lost audio.
Priya. Priya Malik, can you hear me? I don't think any of our guests are through with us. So let me just come back to my studio guest right now. As far as Abhay Deol's case is concerned, he's named exactly the product, Dileep. He's named the star who endorses it. And these are big stars. These are icons. These are people who've talked about their own personal problems in a very public manner, and they seem to be new age icons. Should they still be endorsing something that is clearly not just racist, because fairness screams are racist, but also a hoax?
I think that the real problem I have is with products that don't deliver their promise. As far as selling hope is concerned, all of life is about selling hope. You sell a tie saying that you'll look smarter in an interview. So I think there is I don't take as much issue with having products which hand out hope, which the public wants. I do agree that celebrities... celebrities have a duty towards those who follow them, but they also make their celebritydom based on the kind of earnings they make from endorsing advertising. But where an advertisement does not deliver the promise it does, so if you actually do know that many of these screens are pure hoaxes, then, as somebody who sits on the Advertising Standards Council, I can say that these celebrities need to be called out for actually selling products which don't work.
But Nisha Jamwal, aren't these celebrities, don't they have an added responsibility? Because if you're actually buying into the premise that using this particular product is going to make your complexion fairer, and then your life is going to change, because if you're dark, nothing good can happen to you, don't you think they're adding and aiding and abetting in this?
Absolutely. What I feel strongly is that, firstly, I agree with Abhay Deol. I think there's a strong responsibility. I'm sorry, I'm getting an echo. So I believe that we have a responsibility as role models not to endorse products that sell falsities, one. And two, in case it is true that some of these creams do make a difference, even so, I think it's all the worse. Why should we have such a colonial leftover hang-up, these insecurities? where we sell, use our bodies to sell something which is so regressive. I completely disagree. And on another point, I do want to say that it's not restricted to any class in society. I want to share a vignette. I recently, a friend of mine said, I'm looking for a girl for my son, and she must be fair. So I realized that this is across the border. It's across, all cross sections of society, and it's something to be ashamed about.
Clearly, do we have our other guests as well? Because Priya Malik, who's in Mumbai, joins us as well. Priya, what are your thoughts first off? I understand it's very hard to walk away from a lucrative contract, and I'm being told Priya is not with us right now. I hope Nilanjana is, but Rahul definitely is. Rahul Easwar, do you think walking away from lucrative contracts, people have done that? Abhay Deol names them. He of course has said they're led by example, stood by their principles. Do you think that we need more such celebrities who can walk away from the lucrative odd deal once in a blue moon because they have to stand by principle, they have a societal consideration?
Please remember, dear Athar Khan, we should be very realistic. There are many criticisms even in West that they are slimming girls beyond a point. That the slim girls they project are unrealistic and unhealthy and they can cause severe damages. These kind of criticisms are all okay, but we cannot put pressure to anyone beyond the point saying that you should not have these kind of ideals in your life. These are very normal things, and using a word like racism is too strong. Racism is a much more serious issue, much more deeper issue that should be tackled. But
racism is simple, Rahul. I don't agree with you. If you discriminate on the basis of skin color, then you're indulging in racism. And what Indians do, and recently, I won't name him, a politician had to apologize for it. He, of course, also made some insensitive comments there. That's casual racism, sir. That's nothing else.
It's everyday racism.
It's everyday racism.
With all great respect, what Tarun Vijay, who we all respect, he's one of the greatest friends of South. He could have articulated it better.
How can you differentiate color preferences?
The intention was not there. So let
No,
us
Rahul,
not
I don't agree with you when you say that racism is a far bigger problem and this is not akin to racism. Fairness screams, the very idea of fairness screams is that your current complexion is not good enough, so you need to become fairer or whiter for good things to happen to you. That exactly is the definition of racism, sir. Don't you agree with that?
So do you mean to say that all those foreigners who want to tan themselves, who are spending their time on the beaches, who are trying to get more sunlight to get their skin tone a different tone altogether, are they also doing some kind of reverse racism?
No, but
So
white people were not subjected to years and years of slavery as well as colonization.
No.
It can't
There
be the
is
same
absolutely
argument.
a huge difference
One second.
between
Priya Malik,
foreigners and
thoughts
Indians.
on this? Priya Malik has joined us. Nilanjana, I'm coming to you right now. Go ahead. Thoughts on what Abhay Deol is saying, and does casual racism exist as a part of the entertainment world where if you're fair, you are lovely?
Our industry, and not just the entertainment industry. For that matter, Mr. Easwar, as always, I would disagree with you when you say that, oh, we are dividing the country. We are actually just stating facts. There are still matrimonial ads that ask for fairer girls. There are still ads that promote fairness only. There is still a company called Fair and Lovely, which is doing a business of 450 million since 1978. So if you were to sit there and tell me that fairness is not a problem in our society, you are degrading, you're negating our history, and you can't possibly do that.
And you're also negating,
you can't sit there and
in
say
my
it doesn't
opinion.
exist when
Rahul,
clearly
would you like
it
to respond
does.
to that?
I will give you a personal example. I was 10 years old. And I auditioned for Snow White in school. And I'm technically fair by the Indian standards. Do you know why I didn't become Snow White? Because my teacher told me that I was not white enough to be Snow White.
There you go, Rahul. Would you like to
please don't
respond?
tell me that it doesn't exist.
It's very sad to hear about your one such incident. There might be such incidents, nobody is denying. But please see the cultural context of India. Like Dileep Cherian said, or like Tarun Vijay once said, see, Krishna is the most superb god. He is black in color. Rama is black in color, whereas Ravan is white in color. So let us not stereotype India as racist. India, at least a part of Indians may have some fascination with white color. In the same way, the Westerners have some kind of fascination
large part,
with the
wouldn't you
so-called brown
consider,
color.
Rahul? Would you say a very large part?
The average Joe and the average
So what
Jane
word would you like
without
to
being
use?
racist
Is it the R word that scares you? Is it the word racism that you object to? What word would you like to use? Why are
because
North
ma'am, the
Indians
R word is
Easterners
too
called
serious.
stinky?
The
Why
R
are
word is too serious.
called
No, what would you use?
why
then?
and why?
Open the
So would
Pandora's
you say
box.
India
What would
is
you use? Skin
discriminatory?
discrimination?
Because
Another
yes,
definition
it
for
is.
racism?
Color
What would you use?
consciousness.
Color consciousness? What would you use?
Color consciousness for academic
I
purposes.
think-
The word
I think
racism
racism
can open a
is-
Pandora's
You can use
box.
whatever words
Unrealistic
Some
you
words.
wish.
Nilanjana Chakraborty
he
hasn't
isn't
spoken
aware.
yet. Nilanjana Chakraborty, go ahead. 1 second, Nilanjana.
His awareness levels are absolutely very low. Yeah, I
The word
think
racism
Mr.
can open a
Ishwaran's
Pandora's
views are
box.
very, very, he's not well aware. I mean, he should be aware. Rahul, will you please, let me finish, let me start, please. You've been talking a lot. Please let me make a point. The fact of the matter remains that I don't think you're aware that what goes on in North India, what goes on in Bihar, where fair complexion people are always given priority. It's in the basic DNA. It's in the basic DNA. It's in our mindsets. Whether you like it, you love it, you hate it, whatever you want to do. I mean, we are going to debate about this and we are going to forget about it. I mean, right from our childhood, we are indoctrinated with the fact that you have to have a good complexion. Means what? Fair. It doesn't matter about the skin tone. It doesn't matter about how you look like, or it doesn't matter what your qualifications are. But you've got to be fair. So, and when, the Fair and Lovely ad had first come out, I remember I was very young and I was like little taken aback. And I was even taken aback, I was even more taken aback when I saw the men, the men's part of the Fair and, Fair and Handsome ad or whatever it was. It was a shocker, because that means what? That
Nilanjana, I'm glad you mentioned that, because there is not
and
just...
there's another thing. Let me remind you of a song.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a song. 1 minute. There's a song, Gore Gore Baake Chhore, Kabhi Meri Gali Aaya Karo. Do you remember when this song was shot?
So this is institutionally
How many years
ingrained.
back
I get
was
your
that?
point.
So
I get your
Gore
point.
Gore
This is
Baake
institutionally
Chhore.
ingrained
So,
in what Rahul calls a large part, I think of a substantial part of the country.
And how does one take it out?
No, 1 second. I also want to once again draw your attention to tweets. Live tweets are on our screens right now. People who are watching this are tweeting. Let's read a couple of those tweets to try and understand what's going through our audience's head. We'll come back to that in just a bit. As far as a sub-industry is concerned, this is a huge industry as it is. But as if it wasn't enough to sell this dream to young girls, to say that, look, you are not going to have a good life if you have a dark complexion, there is a sub-industry for men now. If men are not white enough, then they need to go buy men's fairness cream.
This is the one part which holds out hope. At least we are not sexist about racism.
All right.
We are quite uniformly discriminatory. There's black and there's white. And that's the basic issue. So the point is that given that we are in the majority a brown-skinned race, we are discriminating, whether it's man or woman, on the fairness of their skin. So if you consider that racism, and I won't want to get into either a historic or a symbolic argument on this, the fact is that Indians have it ingrained in them, and it's ingrained within the families.
Okay.
We are always blaming Bollywood for it, but actually it starts with families.
Okay.
And you hear it every day.
One direct question each to all my panelists, and that's how I end the show. 1 second, that's all we end the show.
And also, I'd like to...
Yes, Nilanjana, go ahead. Quickly, please.
No, I'd also like to add one more thing. Yeah, I just want to say that, it's all about the demand and supply. This is about consumerism. We appreciate ads, we buy products because that's what society wants at the end of the day. So that's what society wants, and that's the mindset which we need to change. Can we do it? That's a billion-dollar question.
Yes. Unless there is a huge demand, the industry wouldn't exist. My direct question to you is this, coming from the Abhay Deol outrage
Yeah, I mean, there is a demand.
One second. Allow me. Dileep, the direct question is, should individuals like Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, like Deepika Padukone, like many others, cricketers, we've seen many of them endorse fairness products and such products, do you think that they should perhaps draw a line because they're icons with massive fan followings, and perhaps should not advertise or endorse such products which essentially are discriminatory in nature?
I think that that is a question I find slightly more difficult to answer.
In fact,
given that it is ingrained in our society, and given that there is a market, I do agree that they have a responsibility, but then they should be asking for clean air, for clean water, for better driving sense, for not drinking and driving. They should be doing only these goody things, and they're not going to earn anything as celebrities. Okay. So that's a financial question that they have to answer. Should they do it? If I were them,
no,
I would say
disagree
no.
with
But
that.
other than that, I have no issue.
Nisha Jamwal, go ahead.
I disagree completely. I think that when you have the power to bring change and somebody brings you an ad which you disagree with and you want to bring that change, and why not say no? I mean, there are many actors who say no to smoking on screen and say no to, you know, sexist roles. I think they have the power to say no to fairness screens. So, I mean, clean air is... So if they have the power to do that, I agree with Abhay Deol. They can be torchbearers in this. We need to bring change in our country. We need to give up our colonial past.
All right, quickly then, Priya Malik, your stance on whether or not influential individuals, celebrities should just put an end to endorsing what many have called outright racism, yes or no?
I was just listening to the lady before me, and she said if they disagree with it, then they should not do it. I think that's the main point. To each their own. For instance, I was once asked to endorse alcohol. I don't drink alcohol and would not like to promote it, which is why I did not. Had I been a person who drinks alcohol in real life, maybe I would have said yes to it. So honestly, to each their own. Yes, there is a social responsibility that you do carry with yourselves, but then that depends on what you personally, where do you personally stand. For instance, Kangana said no to it. Now, technically, Kangana is really fair. Deepika said yes to it, and by going by the technical standard, Deepika is not. So, ironic, but true.
Ironic but true. I have no more time for any more closing comments. Thank you, Priya Malik, for joining us. Rahul Easwar, Dileep Cherian, Nilanjana Chakraborty, and Nisha Jamwal. It's an ongoing debate, I would say. Perhaps Rahul Easwar needs to be convinced that this is racism and not just other words like color consciousness. At that point, I'll end my show. I'm Athar Khan. Have a good night.